Okay, the magic hour is on us. I'd like to bring the village board meeting to order on November 27, 2023, 6 p.m. And I need a roll call.
Bhatia.
Here.
Venturini.
Here.
Hewitt.
Here.
Anastasio.
Here.
Doxey.
Here.
Washburn.
Here.
DeGroot.
He's here. So let's move on to Pledge Allegiance. One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That's good.
So the next item is public comment. Members of the public, thank you, are welcome to provide comments on any matter. Please fill out a comment form and the president will recognize you. Use the microphone, state your name and address for the public record. Comments are limited to 3 minutes. So if I can hear from Kevin Rano.
Hello, I'm Kevin Rano, 5621 First Street. This is Highway KR in Summers. Be a good neighbor. I would like to discuss reducing speeding on Highway KR and the constant construction activity at the Bikes Ramke Farm Parkland. Highway KR West Green Bay Road was widened and opened to traffic about a year ago. The county set the speed limit at 45, even though state statutes recommend 35 due to the density of homes where I live. To improve safety and reduce noise, I would like to see an education effort started to reduce speeding on Highway KR. We have been told that Mount Pleasant is responsible for enforcing the traffic rules on this section of the highway. Be a good neighbor. Start by educating yourself. Drive on KR from Green Bay Road to I-94 with your cruise control set at 45. See how many vehicles pass you and at what speed. There are probably many ways to improve this situation. A radar speed sign, caution signs for residential area ahead, or the image of a truck on a steep downhill from the railroad bridge. I'm sure that there are many other creative options. Ultimately, a few speeding tickets will need to be written. Be a good neighbor. Next, earth moving at the Bike Ramke Parkland started 10 years ago. Work has continued here for 9 of the last 10 years. This has included the mud, dust, and noise from trucks hauling dirt in and out for a variety of projects, construction material staging, and heavy equipment operation and storage. 9 of 10 years, come on, be a good neighbor. This year we endured a steady stream of trucks hauling dirt out to cap the Kestrel Hawk site for 10 hours a day, 6 days a week for 5 months straight. This is parkland, not an industrial site. Is the village doing this at other park sites? Is this a good neighbor? 2 weeks ago, the Kestrel project ended. In the same week, a new stream of trucks started hauling in sludge from the bottom of a private pond called Pleasant Valley Lake. This does not seem appropriate on parkland. Who approves this? Is it a staff person, elected officials, or both? I would like to know. The Pleasant Valley Project website quotes, "The thick layer of organic matter will be trucked away to Kestrel Hawk landfill." Has our park now become a landfill? The website continues that removing 50 plus years of unwanted organic material will be huge. Now this may be perfectly inert material, but we don't know this. The entire neighborhood is dependent on well water, so we have a stake in what is placed there. If this is approved, what comes next? Not quite a good neighbor. In recent Microsoft news, they agreed to donate $4 million to improve Lampera Creek. Unfortunately, this pond sludge is being dumped in the drainage basin. Maybe you could use some of the money to haul the sludge to a proper landfill. Sadly, the work here is not done. There are about 15 acres of bare clay with tattered and missing silt fences going into winter. The site is grossly out of spec for erosion control standards, so next year will be 10 years out of 11. In summary, the next steps are up to you. Will you pay a little more attention to the highway on the edge of town? Will you develop a standard for who and what can be dumped on parkland? Will you send the sludge to a landfill? Lastly, will you give some thought to the neighbors before agreeing to use public land as a revolving door dump site for every project that comes along? Let's honor the family for whom the park is named. They were good neighbors. Please contact me if you'd like to discuss this. Thank you.
Okay, can we hear from Chris Mender? Menden.
Chris Menden, 1256 East Hickory Creek Court, Oak Creek, Wisconsin, 53154. I'm here to discuss the Microsoft data center under consideration. I am the Director of Corporate Partnerships with the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, and as part of my role there, I have worked with Microsoft since I joined UWM in 2020. Microsoft has been a good partner of ours. Our partnership began almost 20 years ago and has significantly expanded in recent years. In 2019, Microsoft was a founding partner and invested $1.5 million in UWM's Connected Systems Institute, or CSI. Through this investment, Microsoft enables CSI to expand Wisconsin's talent pipeline in advanced manufacturing. We are also able to support Wisconsin manufacturers with Industry 4.0 technologies like the Internet of Things, AI, and robotics. Microsoft has remained committed to this initiative since their original funding, and just earlier this year, they reinvested with an additional $1.2 million. Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella and his wife Anu have also personally supported UWM students. In 2021, the Nadellas gifted $2 million in scholarships and student support for computer science at UWM's College of Engineering and Applied Science. In addition to our degree programs, this funding also supports initiatives such as Girls Who Code, which is computer science-based activities for girls in grades 5 through 12, and NQuest, engineering summer camps for high school-aged girls. Microsoft has also been an active participant in the investments made at UWM. They have provided valuable technological assistance and human capital from various individuals at all levels of the organization. I think we all know that both the CEO and president of Microsoft have strong ties to Wisconsin, Satya being an alum of UWM and President Brad Smith growing up here in Wisconsin. So just wanted to say that Microsoft's been a good corporate partner to UWM by supporting our students, advancing technologies, Wisconsin's pipeline, and strengthening Wisconsin manufacturing sectors. So we are pleased to see them continue to invest in Wisconsin through the data center campus in Mount Pleasant. Thank you.
Thank you. Can we hear from Matt Montemurro?
Matt Montemurro, 305th Street in Racine, and I'm here tonight to talk about the Microsoft project. President DeGroot, Village Trustees, thank you for allowing me the opportunity to give public comment tonight. As I stated, my name is Matt Montemurro. I'm the President and CEO of the Racine Area Manufacturers and Commerce. And on behalf of RAMAC, I'm thrilled to be here to speak about how Microsoft's proposed additional investment of billions of dollars will impact our community. Earlier this year, we heard good news that the American tech giant Microsoft had plans to invest $1 billion to develop a data center in Racine County. Those plans outlined how it may take a few years to get in the ground and begin construction on this new asset for our area. What we've seen in a few short months is a fast-moving, highly effective, and beneficial company make good on its intentions, and even better, recognize an opportunity to expand its investment and impact here in Mount Pleasant and throughout Racine County and our region. From a community impact perspective, the partnerships Microsoft has already advanced are incredible, including more than $4.5 million committed to organizations including Root Pike Win and the United Way of Racine County. From a municipal budget perspective, the additional $1.4 billion minimum valuation guarantee Microsoft has included in their agreements means the village and county and their taxpayers can rest easy knowing that debts incurred to fund the infrastructure that has already attracted Microsoft here will be paid off in its entirety. The best part of this to me is knowing Microsoft's reputation. We know that they follow through on their promises, and in many cases, delivering even more than they say they will. I want to congratulate each of you on the long-term planning that this body has done in partnership with other municipal and state officials. The opportunity before our community is now one that will have a generational benefit and puts Mount Pleasant and Racine County at the forefront of the next technological evolution. I look forward to the opportunity for our member businesses to partner and collaborate with Microsoft as they enter Racine County, and I look forward to the time when they become a RAMAC member. I urge support of everyone here tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Go see AJ about the RAMAC thing. Can we hear from Lee Harmella?
I think Matt stole my speech. So, Lee Jaramillo, 5226 Clover Lane, here in Racine. Village Board, residents of Mount Pleasant, Microsoft representatives, this week marks a pivotal moment in the history of our community. We stand on the brink of a transformative partnership that promises not only advances in technology, but also significant economic and social improvements. This isn't just about computers and fancy network wires. It's about a dynamic collaboration that will propel Mount Pleasant into the future. Microsoft's decision to establish a presence here underscores the potential they see in our community, our resilience, our resources, and most importantly, our people. The impact of this data center on our community cannot be overstated. It's not merely just another facility. It's a catalyst for progress and innovation. The technological infrastructure that Microsoft brings will not only enhance our connectivity, but also create jobs and stimulate economic growth. Local residents will have the opportunity to be a part of something groundbreaking, contributing their skills to a globally recognized tech giant right here in Mount Pleasant. But it's not just about what happens within the walls of the data center. Microsoft is committed to being a responsible corporate citizen, correct? Investing in the well-being of our community. They understand the importance of education and jobs, having already partnered with Gateway and our workforce development. And we can expect initiatives that will empower our residents with the skills needed to thrive in the digital age and the ever-present responsible use of AI. We all know what that is. As a real estate developer firmly established here in Racine, I'd like to talk about the ripple effect on real estate development. As a data center takes root, we can anticipate a surge in demand for housing, retail, and commercial spaces. This is a golden opportunity, folks, for local businesses and entrepreneurs to flourish. Real estate development will play a crucial role in accommodating the influx of professionals and their families, creating a vibrant and diverse community that reflects the dynamic nature of the tech industry as a whole. In addition, increased demand for housing creates opportunities for property value appreciation, benefiting existing homeowners and positioning Mount Pleasant as an attractive destination for potential investors, which we've been preparing for. The economic prosperity brought by Microsoft's presence will radiate through our neighborhoods, transforming the landscape and enriching the lives of all who call Mount Pleasant home, and welcoming new neighbors. In conclusion, as we welcome Microsoft to our community, let us embrace the promise of progress and the boundless opportunities that lie ahead. This isn't just a data center. It's a partnership that will shape the future of Mount Pleasant and Wisconsin and leave a lasting legacy for generations to come. Together, we embark on a journey of innovation, growth, shared prosperity, and while we certainly can be mindful of the painful promises made in the past for this site, let's do all we can to learn from it and not allow it to stop us from growing with our willing, reputable, and established partner, Microsoft. Thank you to the Village of Mount Pleasant, Racine County, the County Executive, RCEDC, the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation, Milwaukee 7, the Governor, and to all those who have the ability to see the benefits of bringing new development and growth to our home. Thank you.
Appreciate your thoughts. Can we hear from Dr. Raju?
Ritu Raju, 4706 Cottage Lane, Pleasant Prairie, 53158. President DeGroot, respected trustees, thank you for the opportunity to provide some comments on the proposed Microsoft data center expansion proposal. I am here to speak in my capacity as the president of Gateway Technical College and to speak to some of our experiences that we have had with Microsoft in the last few months. Microsoft's expansion, as speakers before me mentioned, will elevate our region's economic growth through increased demand for additional services and amenities. Besides the build-out of Microsoft's facilities, we anticipate that there will be associated services, there will be ancillary services that will elevate our region. Microsoft will also positively impact Gateway. They are already working with Gateway to align our existing curriculum with their needs, which will provide our students with the connection to the working world that they will enter upon graduation. We anticipate that Microsoft will need many technicians to do the data work. It doesn't stop there. Microsoft is also building a prototype of their data center on one of Gateway's campuses, giving students and the public a chance to view and understand the inner workings of the facilities that they plan to build here. Again, this provides not only Gateway students, but our community with an outstanding opportunity to understand more about this high-tech development. Gateway has had a long and excellent track record of working with employers in our region to meet their talent and training needs. It is one of Gateway's foundational principles tied to our mission that we meet the needs of area businesses, and in doing so, we meet the needs of our area economy. At Gateway, we take our role as being a catalyst for our region's economic health very seriously. We look forward to supporting Microsoft. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Appreciate your thoughts. Anybody else wishing to speak, public comment? This is all that we have signed up. Last call for public comment. With that, we'll move on from public comment, and we'll move on to the consent agenda, item F. Trustee Hewitt.
Yeah, Mr. President, I make a motion to adopt the items that are on the consent agenda.
Second.
So I hear a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So that motion carries. So let's move on to new business. What we'll go to here is a series of items necessary for approval to allow the proposed expansion of the Microsoft development within TID 5. These agreements were made public on November 10th and explained to us by Attorney Markowitz at our November 13th Committee of the Whole meeting. So at that November 13th meeting, we had presentations regarding the project from Microsoft, our attorneys, our financial advisor, and for that reason, there are no formal presentations scheduled tonight. However, if there are questions from the board, representatives from Microsoft, in addition to our legal counsel and financial advisor, are here to answer any questions. But before we get to any questions, do I have a motion?
Mr. President, I make a motion to authorize the appropriate village official to execute the necessary documents to allow the proposed expansion of the Microsoft development as presented, subject to the minor changes approved by the village attorney.
Second.
So I hear a motion and a second. So what I'd like to do is just bring Attorney Markowitz up, in as much as I said that we're not going to have a presentation. If you could just walk through quickly the various documents that are involved within the package that this motion is addressing.
Thank you, Mr. President. 2 weeks ago, it was my privilege on behalf of the development team to present this board with this package of agreements. In the 2-week interval, it's important to note that there's been a full opportunity for the public, as well as members of the board and the CDA, to review the document, ask whatever questions, make whatever comments they felt appropriate. Earlier today, the CDA met and unanimously voted to recommend approval of this motion that's now been made before the board, which completes the legal requirements to allow the board to consider action tonight. The items are listed in the agenda as items 1 through 7. There is the Area 3A purchase and sale agreement between the village and Microsoft, the Area 2 purchase and sale agreement between the village and Microsoft, the release of the repurchase rights which we obtained from Microsoft earlier and which have now been met, an amendment to the development agreement between the village and Racine County and Microsoft Corporation involving 3B, amendment to the development agreement between the village, Racine County, and Foxconn, which was made in December of 2017, another amendment to enable the third-party project to take place in Area 2 and 3 between the village of Mount Pleasant, Foxconn, and Racine County. And finally, a third amendment to the cooperation agreement which we've enjoyed between the village and the county. And I also want to remind this board that the village board will be meeting tomorrow and eagerly awaits your decision on the matters pending before you now.
County board.
County board, I'm sorry, county board. Thank you.
Does anybody have any quick questions for Attorney Markowitz?
I don't have any questions. The presentations we've had have been very thorough. The documents are actually, while they're very thick, they're very easy to follow, and they're tied in beautifully to all the other agreements.
Yeah, and I just want to echo, I don't have any questions. Since this was presented to us a number of weeks back, everybody, and I had to write down my notes because there have been so many that have come before us. The Microsoft team, the people at Ellers, Mr. Los, Mr. Markowitz, the village staff, village legal team, they've made it all so clear and easy for us that, as Nancy mentioned, there's really no need for any additional questions at this time. Everything's been so transparent, and I really appreciate that. I've said it before. I'm fairly new to the board, and in going through something this big, and it's kind of funny. I just want to make this quick comment and talking to people out there. Some people don't realize the magnitude of this and what it's going to do for the community, Lee, as you mentioned. This is for years to come. This is really a big thing for the village, and thank you very much for making it so clear for us to make an intelligent decision.
Attorney Markowitz, you can sit down now if you want. And Attorney Smith just has a couple of housekeeping items that he wants to address.
Just, I want to mention two things before the board comments further and votes. First, I'm going to address probably the least exciting of all these agreements, which is what Attorney Markowitz talked about, the cooperation agreement with the village and county. There have been some modifications to that agreement since you've seen it last. And really all this is we're doing tonight is mirroring what we agreed to in the Second Amendment agreement, what we call the implementation agreement with Foxconn to enable a third-party project. And so just for your own copies, we have eliminated the last sentence in paragraph 1 and all of paragraph 2. And that is just for tonight's purposes to just mirror what we've agreed to as far as the land sale proceeds in the implementation agreement with Foxconn. And simply we did that because the village and county just needs more time to go through its internal plumbing of the remainder of the proceeds and how they are set aside, as we discussed, to make sure that debt is always going to be, our payments to debt will always be protected. The second thing that I'll mention just briefly, because this is new, but it's more of a housekeeping thing, but we put it on the agenda because, and Attorney Markowitz did mention it, but when we did the first round with Microsoft, the first deal back in spring, just like this deal, we had a repurchase right to the land if Microsoft did not perform. And they are already performing, as we've heard, way ahead of schedule. And so they've satisfied that condition in that earlier agreement. And so we are now you're going to vote on, and I'm recommending that you approve that we're releasing that condition from that parcel that we approved back in spring. So Microsoft can record that and get that off their title. Those are the only updates that I have.
What a day for not only the village of Mount Pleasant, but our whole region, not only for the Racine County, but for the southeast Wisconsin. How many communities are out there who would do anything to have this kind of development that Microsoft has already proved from the earlier purchase in the spring, that not only that they walk the walk, they talk the talk, they walk the walk, they are already ahead of the schedule. Like Attorney Chris Smith said, we had the condition that if they don't perform by 2026, they have a condition, but they already are working on. They actually have commenced, they pulled the permits, they're working on that, the land like you see here in the map owned by the Microsoft. And it's not only bringing Microsoft, it's elevating this whole region. What I am pleased with is since the spring, every time we talk to Microsoft, they are investing in our community. They already have become a corporate citizen. They already are transparent. They held the open house with the public, I think, way back in June, July, answering any question. And I'm not going to go any more details of how many jobs are going to be created, how many billions are going to be invested, but this is just elevating the whole region. This would be the envy of every other state. This will be the area where, like workforce training, Gateway President, she mentioned how many opportunities are going to be there for our students, not only for the Gateway, but their customers are in this area, from Rockwell to Pfizer to Kohl's, our students in this region. And as the homeowner, I cannot be any more happier. I cannot be any more thrilled. Our community should be proud of this day, and I'm very pleased, and I want to have this opportunity again to congratulate Microsoft and our team, the teams of RCEDC, the M7, the county, the state, the village. What a great day, and I guess I should stop because I could go on and on and on, because it is such an exciting day in the village of Mount Pleasant and our region. Welcome, Microsoft.
Of course, I want to echo that. I want to say thank you to Microsoft for considering Mount Pleasant and Racine County and for coming here. I've lived here all my life in Mount Pleasant, Racine, Caledonia, Mount Pleasant, and it feels good to me personally that other people are recognizing that this is really a special place here, the beauty here and the resources and the people. And I'm happy to talk about Microsoft. I've been telling everybody, well, I know you heard about it before, but this is much bigger than that. This is really going to be something that's going to have a huge impact on the region, and it's going to be long-lasting. And I also want to thank our team. We've had our struggles over the years, but we didn't give up, and I want to thank Claude especially, and the rest of Milwaukee 7 and Maureen, everybody. But it hasn't been an easy path, and now we're getting the fruits of their labors, and I appreciate it. Thank you for coming.
I would second everything that has been said tonight, and I'm not going to repeat anything else, but I agree. It is something unbelievable.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So, unlike Denise, I have not lived here my whole life. I only came here in 2018. And I remember in 2017 when I was watching what was going on down here, thinking with excitement, wow, I'd like to be down there, and how great it's going to be for the area's future. Then I moved here, and I think that we need to look back at the foresight of the leadership of the county, the state, and the village to create this opportunity. Now, there's been some bumps in the road for Foxconn, and we had COVID, and there's been some other things that they've struggled with, but then Foxconn had the foresight to enable the village and the county to work with Microsoft. So we also have to look at them and thank them too for doing that. And then I'm just very excited about an American company coming in here and what Microsoft will do for the county and for the village and for the city of Racine. And I think this is just a great opportunity, and I'm happy to be part of it.
And proud to be part of it.
Yes.
Mr. President, so over the Thanksgiving holiday, I had a lot of time to reflect on this because I had my grandchildren with me, and they wanted to stay at Nana's a couple extra nights. And so as I was driving them home on Sunday morning, we drove up 90th Street. I live on KR. We just went up 90th Street and had to stop here at Village Hall. I wanted to show him where we sat every night, trying to instill on the next generation a sense of pride, a sense of civic duty, and what does Nana do when she's not baking cookies? So, which I haven't done enough of lately, apparently. So we drove down 90th Street, and I looked at my oldest grandson, who called shotgun and was in the front seat with me, and I said, well, see all that development over there? I said, that's going to be, Microsoft is coming to Mount Pleasant. Microsoft, the company, is coming to our community. Oh my gosh, Nana, that is tremendous. I love Microsoft. And I'm looking at my 13-year-old going, okay. And I said, you do, hon? He goes, yeah, they write the best programs for my MP3 player. So then I got it. But that whole thought process, one of the things that motivated me to run as village trustee, having been involved in the community for so many years, was the fact that we are destined and tasked as trustees with setting policies and creating projects for the future. Some of it's about what we're doing today when we look at the budget for next year or the budget for this year, but most of it's for the future. The dates and timelines in these agreements that we're going to be approving tonight are way out into the future. I'm not going to be here for a lot of them. I hope my grandson is, I know he'll be here for a lot of those dates, to see those dates come to fruition, and I hope he'll be a part of that. I hope it motivates him. I told him, you can go to school, you can go to work for Microsoft. They're right here in town now. And he liked that idea. He wants to design games, I guess. So we'll talk later about 13-year-old Bryce. But my point is, it's about the future. It's an amazing opportunity for us. We're very excited to have Microsoft here. I, too, am honored to be a village trustee at this time, to be a part of that decision, to have gone through all the teamwork we have, working with all of the agencies, all the people that have been already mentioned. And so thank you again for coming, and we look forward to watching you rise up out of the earth.
Wow. Well, I certainly support the development, and I'm proud, as everybody else is, to be able to vote to approve the largest, or one of the largest, economic projects in the history of our state. But I'd be remiss if I did not discuss some of the history that got us to this great moment tonight. In 2017, the village board approved what the Public Policy Forum has since called a calculated risk. And at that time, the board voted unanimously to take that calculated risk, which would allow for the creation of a mega site. Fortunately, we had the opportunity to enter into an agreement with a multi-billion-dollar corporation, Foxconn, to backstop the hundreds of millions of dollars needed to create that site. And at the time, we believed that that site would be filled with Foxconn-related development. But we knew, and anyone with a thinking brain and knowledge of the 2017 agreement knew, that if Foxconn didn't live up to its commitments, that we were protected. Because our first priority was to protect our property taxpayers every step of the way. Those who told you otherwise were either ignorant or lying. And in my opinion, there was plenty of people in both of those categories. We had them at the local level, we had them statewide, we had some nationally, we even had some international critics. But the village board stood firm against our critics. And whether they were motivated by politics, ignorance, or personal gain, the board stood firm against our critics. Because once it was apparent that Foxconn was not going to create what was originally envisioned, not only did we know that we were financially protected, but we also knew that we were sitting on the best site of development in the country. Ladies and gentlemen, there is nothing like what is out there in our TID 5. It's unique. And it's highly, highly sought after, not only by Microsoft, but in days beforehand, many other common household names. And because of the will of the village board and the hard work of the members of village staff, including our legal team, Ann Von Briesen, and our financial experts at Ellers, and especially the guidance of our project director, Claude Loyce at Kapoor, we are now at a point to see this mega site utilized to its full potential. We didn't get there quite the way that we thought that we would. We still got there. Our village motto is that Mount Pleasant is a forward-thinking community, and there's no better embodiment of this idea than what we've accomplished here. By holding firm, trusting our experts, and ignoring the backward-thinking critics, we are now on the cusp of realizing the benefits of so much hard work. And again, some might think that, once you've done this once or twice, we make it look easy. But I got to tell you, it's just as hard work. It's blocking and tackling. It's just doing all the spade work necessary to reach winning agreements that benefit everybody. So I have no doubt that the disingenuous or the ill-informed detractors will continue their sniping. But they should know this. All of your efforts to derail this plan over the past 6 years accomplished nothing. All of the misinformation that you spread fell on deaf ears, at least the ears that mattered. And the reason you failed is because you were always wrong about this project, and we were right. And those are the 3 words I want to leave with our detractors. We were right. And the people of the village of Mount Pleasant should know that we continue to take calculated risks. We will continue to be forward-thinking, and we'll continue to ignore those who try to move the village backwards. So again, I want to thank our new partners at Microsoft, because it was really just a few months ago, earlier this year in March, we made an announcement and we codified it in May with the votes on the agreement. And I know that Microsoft must have saw something in us, because those conversations never stopped. We kept working, and we took what was an amazing agreement, as Ram and others have said, and we just transformed it into something that's ginormous and remarkable. And there's going to be building and economic development, jobs, and opportunities for decades. It really is, a look out into the future. And so on that thought, there's a motion out in front of us to approve the expansion. Roll call, please.
Bhatia,
Aye.
Venturini,
Aye.
Hewitt,
Aye.
Anastasio,
Aye.
Doxy,
Aye.
Washburn,
Aye.
DeGroot.
Aye. President votes aye. The motion carries unanimously. And we've got to deal with Microsoft. Congratulations, everybody. So with that in mind, really there's only one last motion.
Mr. President, motion to adjourn on that happy note.
Second.
So I hear a motion and second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. We stand adjourned. Thank you very much. To the media, we'll meet with you over in the community room too, and we'll be able to take some questions.